this is Jeff Gilbert. Welcome to my live call tonight. And I'm going to talk about when things happen that you didn't plan on, what do you do about it? And I always mean that in the context for people who are involved in the network marketing profession. For those of you that don't know me, I've been involved 40 years. I started in this business totally broke, sold a junk truck, put $200 into my business. Last 27 years, I've been full-time in network marketing. If that interests you, keep listening. Anyway, when I talked about when unforeseen things happen, how do you react to it? And it's never usually pleasant. Usually it's pretty negative how we generally feel about it, because it's not the way we want to see things, go the way that it's going, right? The question is, what are we going to do about it? And, can you find a silver lining in it? It's like what Dolly Parton said, if you want the rainbow, you got to put up with the rain. So let's talk about the rain and then try to find a rainbow beyond it. Some people, for example, we're putting this in the context of, hey Sean, nice to see you. This is in the context of the life of those who are in network marketing, okay? We're talking about it in that sense, in that context, when things, don't happen the way that we planned. What can we do about it? For example, sometimes when people join network marketing, they have unrealistic expectations. I had a person say that to me one time when he interviewed me for his show. He says, what do you think is the most common problem that people experience when they join network marketing? And the first thing out of my mouth was unrealistic expectations is usually the I'd say the most common problem. Unrealistic expectations. In other words, they join expecting a lot to happen in a short period of time. So that's their expectations. And then when it doesn't happen, then, some quit. Yes, some do. So if we're one of those that has, really recently joined, and that's exactly what you're experiencing, that things have not happened the way you thought they would, here's the way to look at it, okay? We're talking about the rain now, not the rainbow. But in this rain, think about this. What were some of the reasons why you joined the company that you're in? Why did you get involved in network marketing? Was everything perfect in your life and what you were doing and the job that you had, or however you made money? Was everything so perfect? I tend to think that most people, and I found this to be true personally, but what I've observed in other people is that most people, when they join, it's because their life, they just didn't feel satisfied. It was very unfulfilled. Maybe they just looked at the lack of money that they've saved in their lifetime after spending years in work, very little saved, and now they're thinking, what is retirement going to look like? What's my life going to look like? And so they look at network marketing as a vehicle to help fulfill that. In other words, and it does, and it will, but it's the timeline we put on it. You know, it's amazing that we would sell so many years of our life to a job, and we were willing to put up with that. And it wasn't perfect there. We didn't have any maybe great financial goals, because you always know what you're going to make, right? It's not like they give you a lot of raises, right? You come out, but someone comes over to network marketing, and then they're so unrealistic about how soon they have to be successful, how much money they have to make. Here's the reality. The reality is we put in more time than we ever make money when we start. That's the way it works. Now, if you persist and follow the skill set, a well-done skill set of what steps you need to take to be successful, in other words, learning how to properly invite people to your opportunity, knowing how to do a presentation or send a video, and then knowing how to answer any of the questions that they have, concerns that they have, and then ask them to join you. You know, following a precise skill set. And some people just either they don't do that, or they don't do it enough with enough people. And then they don't see the success they want to see. Well, here's the thing that we have to understand. It does take time. But let me ask you, I mean, you put up with that in your job for so many years, earning money that you thought, hey, I'm worth more than that, but they're not going to pay me more. But then we come over to network marketing, we make all these demands, you know. So, for those of you that are new, just be more patient, be more realistic, and give it more time. And that's what it's going to take. But make sure you follow that skill set and do it right. If you don't know how to do that, you can always reach out to me. So here's another unforeseen problem, is that is losing a leader, losing a team, and you're just, you know, breaking out the champagne. Maybe you got to a certain pin position, certain rank, certain goal, and then now all of a sudden you got some people that have disappeared on you. They've decided to leave and go up, chase something else, a shiny object out there, or just some fast money, or at least something that they thought would deliver success quicker. And then what to do about it, how to feel about it. It was unforeseen, you didn't expect it. I can tell you I went through that. 21 years ago when I started, after a 90-day run, after 90 days, and I had 800 people in my team, I was celebrating. I went to the top of the company in 90 days. Nobody had ever did that in 90 days. It's unheard of, crazy. And well, if you know me, then you say, well, that's just Jeff, that's Jeff. Anyway, but the thing was, my biggest leader decided to take some of his leaders and go off to the money games, and that's what they did. Now I had a choice. I could either quit, or I could look to see who's left behind. I promise you there's always somebody left behind. So I'm giving you an action step when that happens. When that happens, you know, go to your back office, look at your downline reports, look at those people. They have phone numbers, call them. Call them. That's what I did. I called a woman, and she was just a diamond in the rough, and so basically I adopted her, worked with her, and she went to the top. She really did. In fact, she opened up the Philippines and India in our company. I mean, she went out there on her own like a pioneer. Now, I flew in there to support her and help do you know, a lot of legwork, but I'm telling you, when a leader leaves, they will always leave people behind that, you know, they don't agree. In other words, they don't want to leave. They found something about your company, your product that bonded with them. So that's what you need to do. You need to look into there and just say, hey, who's still here? Who can I work with? And that's what she did. Incredible. Michelle, nice to see you. And so that's another unforeseen thing that you can, you know, that's a problem and what you can do about it. The other thing is, let's say you're in a company, but bad things are happening, and it looks like they're not turning it around. In fact, you're losing people. You're losing people because the owner is making bad decisions. In other words, it's been negatively impacting you. Not just for a little while, but it's been going on for a long while. And you see it in your organization. Now, what do? Some will just go down with the ship. That's a choice. You can do that. You can do that, or what you're going to have to do is you're just going to have to see things for what they are. And I've been there. I was in several companies before my last one that I joined 21 years ago. And when the owners of those companies did negative things that impacted us, and I saw the writing on the wall, I remember the company that I was with for 5 years. We were sold, the new owners came in. They didn't have a lot of experience in network marketing. They just saw that we did a lot of business. And the owners, he sold us and took the money and ran. And then they came in, these new people, they said, hey, let's motivate these people. So they doubled the requirements in the compensation plan, doubled them. Yeah, it motivated me. It motivated me to find another company. But see, I knew it was over at that point when they did that. And so then I had to go and search for, the company that I ended up with 21 years ago. That's the thing that I learned from these crises is that, we think it's the worst thing in the world that could ever happen to us. And at the time, it feels that way. Because nobody likes adversity. We don't like it. It's not comfortable. But I'll tell you what, it makes you grow. It'll make you act in ways that you've never done before. And I can also remember, actually it was before that company. I was in a company out of Canada. Had a great health product. I got in there, put a team, 2 teams that I worked with. We got things really moving fast. And I thought, wow, I just hope nobody screws this up. It was 6 months later, the owners were saying, we got to make a compensation plan change because we're paying out too much money, and we got to make that change this week. And that was on a conference call, and I just fell out of my chair. I couldn't believe he announced that on a conference call. And then my phone was ringing, and all these angry leaders, oh man, what a mess. And I thought, okay, that's the end. And like I said, then I went into the other, and we had the same problem. Almost by that point, I hated network marketing. I'll be honest with you, I really did. I hated it. Because I almost wish there were laws that prevented these fools forever starting these so-called companies, because they don't know their head from their butt. It's the truth. Matter of fact, I think they think more with their butt. They don't have a brain between their ears, but they can damage a lot of people. And that's what happened. So believe me, it's not like I don't know what you're going through. I do. What I learned to do later was I learned how to pick them better. I went by a criteria. Who are the people that own this company? Have they ever been sued? Did they ever own a company before? Why did they leave that company? Was anybody damaged from that company? What kind of reputation do they have? What kind of experience do they have in running a network marketing company? Most networkers will never ask these questions. They will never ask these questions. They'll just, whoever's prospecting them, they'll say, oh man, these people are solid. They're solid. They got deep pockets. Stupid overused words, it burns my butt when I hear these kind of words, It's funny because I have fun with these people too. When people call me about a company and you got to look at it, this thing is hot, it's going to be big, it's going to be huge. Same old hype. My first question is, what's their address? And what? I just want the address. I tell you what, somebody did that with me one time, not too long ago. I Googled the address, and I actually got a picture of the company. Yes, it was a trailer on a dirt road. A trailer on a dirt road in Mississippi. And I did a screenshot. I sent him back to the woman. I said, here's your company. She was shocked. Why don't people do homework? I don't know. And let me tell you something. If the company is a suite number, you're screwed. I don't know that's not a company. Somebody recently did that. They just, I don't know, last week. I said, what's your company's address? I said, it's a suite number. Isn't that sweet? He could take the money and disappear into Costa Rica. That's right. That's not a company. That's a fly-by-night operation. That's an opportunist. Anyway, so when your company is in trouble, here's what you don't want to do. Don't leap from fire to fire like Jeff Algilberts did in the early days. See, I learned not to do that. And I can tell you that I remember after going through, I don't know, I think we were on number 8 at the time, and we were looking at another company, and I sent one of my trusted leaders to go down at that time and visit the company. I said, go there. He had a stack of applications with credit cards and checks, right? I said, if you see anything suspicious, anything that looks funny, anything that makes you feel strange, run! That's what I told him. Run! Do not leave the applications. It was a telecommunications company. Well, guess what? It was in Florida. The address, it ended up being a house. The guy that came to the door had a beer belly. He had a t-shirt on and coffee stain right where his belly was sticking out. That's the president and CEO. He looked beyond his shoulders and he saw a table with a mountain of applications. And this woman that looked like she was intoxicated just looking at him. And the IT department, well, that was to the left. That was his son on a personal computer. And he did exactly what I said. He ran. He ran back to the car with the applications. Came back with a very good report that, what I wanted to hear at the time. So that's the thing. If you're gonna go, if your company's in trouble, don't go to another company where you're gonna be in trouble. If what you're looking for is timing, you're making a big mistake. You're gonna be that man's next experiment. Why does it have to? I couldn't tell you how many of those companies back then were ground floor opportunities that I no longer get paid on. When those companies died, so did that money. Those rank positions mean nothing. So, when you have a company that's in trouble, don't leap from fire to fire. So, companies, what you got to look at, product, make sure it's not going to be a product that you're going to see everywhere. It's going to be a commodity product that you can get with anyone. Third, compensation plan. Make sure it's a plan for the many, not the few. Fourth is your support. Who are the leaders you're going to work with? So again, if your company's in trouble, don't go from fire to fire. Here's another thing that an unforeseen event, maybe you didn't plan on it, but it's happened. Bad press. You'll get bad press. Sometimes that happens. I can tell you back in the 1980s, I was flying with a company back then. I don't know if anybody here is old enough to remember NSA. Today it's called Juice Plus, but back then NSA. And I can remember back then that it was a company that I was running with and running strong with. And then finally we just got bad press on the news. And I'll tell you what, this company took a nosedive. They took a nosedive. But what's nice about that is that they learned a lesson from it. And what they specialized in was water filtration systems for homes. They were the first company out there to do that, network marketing company. People were, weren't that educated that drinking tap water wasn't healthy for you, and that you could really taste how water was meant to be, how it was meant to be experienced if you just use their system. So great idea. The problem with it, it wasn't consumable. It lasted for years. Well, who wants that product? You need to find something that people eat every day, consume every day. You need something like that. So what they did was they reinvented themselves, came out with Juice Plus, and went to $700 million in monthly sales. An incredible return from a disaster. So the thing is, if your company gets bad press, keep this in mind. Most people are not going to see it. Most of the people you prospect have never even heard that bad press. So don't focus on it if the majority of people out there are not focusing on it anyway. Don't worry about it. No doubt your company is going to, they're going to readjust, course correct, whatever it takes to get your business back on track. Just be patient with it. Now here's another thing, an unforeseen event that most people didn't plan on and is happening, and that's the coronavirus. We hear about it all the time, anytime. You turn on the news, or if it's on the news on your phone, when you go to your phone or wherever you go, that's all they talk about it. How's that going to affect us? Nobody planned. Well, look at me. Here, back in December, I went to Tony Robbins' event, Date with Destiny. Date with Destiny. And my friend Mindy Rosen, love her to death, she said, Jeff, you need to sign up and become a platinum member. Be in Tony Robbins' inner circle, and go to these events and blah, 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 blah. At first I wasn't going to do it. Then I decided, after talking to Tony's brother-in-law, I thought, this is a good thing. It's $85,000, and that's actually, it will cost you more because you got to figure your travel time, hotels, and there's 3 other events that you have to pay for. Basically, at the end of the day, you're going to end up spending about $150,000. Anyway, but when you sign for the membership, it's $85,000. So I thought, what the heck? I love Tony. I love what he teaches. And I love the people there. Love all that. So I went ahead and, again, signed, excited, but who I would have never had foreseen that we're going to have the coronavirus, right? Now it's the coronavirus. Boom. Now, this is not a good time to travel. Matter of fact, we had a UPW event. UPW means Unleash the Power Within. That's was scheduled in San Jose for this month. Well, we just got notice that it's been canceled. No surprise. I expected that. And so now I signed up for an $85,000 year membership and can't use it. Well, one thing about Tony and his staff, they're very good. They're good people. They just said, hey, whatever events, whatever you couldn't get will be made up. In other words, you'll catch that later. But again, it was just one of those things I could not foresee. Now, where do I find the rainbow in this? And where do I find the, here's the thing about it. Nobody likes this coronavirus. Nobody likes it. Nobody wants it. It's a disruptor. If you look at China, for example, they're still in lockdown. All their major cities are in lockdown. You think their economy has been disrupted? It's been a major disruption. Major. But you know what? Despite that, some of you have seen this young Chinese girl actually staying with us because I met her at a Tony Robbins event, and she could not return to China. So we offered a room to stay and all that, and she wanted to look at network marketing. She's never been involved in it. And in 12 days, she built a very large team just by doing Zoom calls back to China. Yes, even though they're in lockdown, quarantine, for most places in China, they still have shipping. So guess what? She has a captured audience. These people can't go anywhere, okay? So, so she has been doing Zoom calls, filling them up, and building a business in China. Just just talking to people that she knows back there. Well, the thing about it is, when we have these disruptions, it's like it makes people think and analyze their lives a little bit more. For those of you, especially if you're in health and wellness, if you got products that help enhance health, the immune system, the coronavirus is all about the immune system, all about the immune system. People are asking the question, do I have an immune system that's strong enough to survive this? So that's something that people are evaluating. They're evaluating their health. So if you can give value to that, then that's the rainbow in this. You're going to give value out to people. At the same time, you can also educate people in your community. Be safe. Be safe. I met some people when I was in the grocery store the other day, total strangers, and they were Japanese, and I could tell him and his wife were talking. They looked a little confused, and I went up and I said, hey, can I help you with something? And we just, and then after we had a nice conversation, he put out his hand to shake, and I said, mm-mm, and we went like that. So here's the thing, just be safe. Like they said, wash your hands, try to avoid large crowds. It's hard to do that at a Tony Robbins event, right? Boy, I missed that. But some other things too. You might want to consider making sure you got enough food. And if you don't have a good water supply, bottle water in your house. I'm being honest with you, friends. The thing about that virus is it duplicates every 6 days. Do the math. Just do the math. And pay attention to that. I'm not saying be in fear, be scared. I'm saying be prepared, that's all. See, again, it's an unforeseen event. But still, you can do your business from home. You can do Zoom calls like what I've been doing. You can do Facebook Lives. You can work from home. Make sure that you have tools that you can work with, like a good video, so that you can prospect people, still sign people up, enroll people into your business. Into your business. You can do that. I think China is a very good model that hopefully the U.S. will follow. Hopefully they'll follow that. And if they do, then there shouldn't be a disruption to the extent that people can't get your products. And even if they do, it's probably going to be only temporary. So just be ready for that. But at the same time, just understand, take a negative, turn it into a positive. Nobody likes this. It's an unforeseen event. We didn't plan on it, but what are we going to do about it? So be proactive about it. Protect your families. Make sure that you have food, medicine supplies, water, the basic things. You need to plan on that. You don't want to wait until it becomes a real problem and then people panic and then you don't have these things and then you want to go to stores and it's not available. I'm being honest with you. I love you guys, but I'm being straight with you. I've been planning very much here this last week and will continue to do so. So feel free to reach out to me. And if you don't have a good immune system product, then, I've got one I've been taking for 21 years. And so I'm a big believer in it. But I'm not here to promote my product, my company or anything like that. I just give out value. And I expect you to do the same thing, so even if you wanted to buy it, you don't have to do the business. I buy Young Living's products, Young Living essential oils, but I don't sign people up in it, but I'm a very loyal customer. I am with other companies too. I drink Kangen water, bought a Kangen water system. I use it. I'm a big believer in alkalinized water. Matter of fact, it's right here, okay? So there's certain things that if you need some help, you want some direction, feel free to reach out to me as far as what you should do to be prepared. But just understand that you can use this time to be able to prospect people. Even if you work from home, that's what you can do. Everything doesn't stop. Everything doesn't, it's not going to be the end of your business. Just understand, but the most important thing is making sure that you and your family are safe, your children are safe. That's the most important thing. Then next to that is your business. You know, certainly keep God in your life. And then as far as your business, then understand you need to use the tools to be able to work from home. Use a good video. Use your Facebook groups. Do Zoom calls. Build up your team. This is a time to get the message out about your product that you're passionate about and why it has value for people today. So again, these are unforeseen events. We don't plan on them. What can I say? In this lifetime, stuff happens, right? But it's what we do about it, how we turn it into an opportunity. Even with the stock market, look how it's just like, bam, just crash. Well, Tony Robbins says that the money is made in the winter. And in the winter, people either freeze to death or they ski. Which are you going to be? So the thing about it is, I don't look at that and say, oh, wow, look at that. To hear Trump's been bragging about the stock market, now it's crashed. It's the end of the world, end of the world. No, it's not. No, it's not. In the history of the stock market, since it began, it always returns. Always returns. There's never an exception. It always does. So there's always cycles, contractions, and then it spurts. And so the thing about it is, I don't look at that, and I just see opportunity. Even matter of fact, when I talked to my accountant, who's also my stockbroker, she even told me, she said, I love it, Jeff. When I see that the numbers are going down, I'm having a party. I'm loving it. So she's skiing, okay? She's looking for buy opportunities, and that's when the buy opportunities are there. So again, it's unforeseen events that we can find rainbows in these unforeseen events, but getting sick is not something that I want you to experience, and that's why I mentioned, keep your immune system strong, use good hygiene, stay away from crowds, and that's the thing. Stay healthy. That's what you need to do. But in all of this, I promise you, there's going to be opportunity that's going to come out of it. So look for that. Anyway, so those are my thoughts tonight. When I was driving home, I was thinking about all this, and I'm just concerned how people are just ignoring it, and they're in denial of certain things that are, what's happening out there, and they're not paying attention. It's like people on the Titanic drinking champagne, they're dancing while water's coming in. No, let's pay attention to it. Let's not live in fear, and let's not overreact, but let's be prepared, and let's be responsible. You can get a lot of opportunity out of what's going to happen in the next 6 months. So don't be afraid of it. Reach out to me anytime you got questions, any way that I can help you. All of you guys, love you, and I'll see you tomorrow night.